That's okay. I can pull it from YouTube.
Mhm.
All right, Joe. Third time's the charm. Let's talk. The
Let's do it.
Yes, top 10 Switch games of all time as we're gathered for the Switch funeral. Joe, give me that countdown.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Get over here! Hi, I'm martial art master Daniel Pacina. You know me as the original Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, and Smoke. You are tuning in to NerdCage Live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Don't miss an episode or you'll get caged. So let's finish him.
This is Anthony Marquez, better known as Kung Lao for Mortal Kombat. Make sure to like and subscribe to NerdCage Live. Be there. Us.
Hey everybody, this is Dave Niebor from Dog Eat Dog, and you're watching NerdCage Live. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel. These are great guys doing what they love to do.
Hi, I'm Leah Montalongo, the OG Sindel. Please like, subscribe to NerdCage Live.
This is Ernie C. from Body Count. You're tuned in to NerdCage. Can you like and subscribe?
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe.
Okay.
Shoot it!
All right.
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe.
It's all about you.
Kaboom!
Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful!
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe! Run for your life, Joe!
Running.
Run faster! Oh no, Joe! The galaxy's doomed because of you!
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe!
Thank you.
About you.
Yo! That's f***ing diabolical!
About humanity.
Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCage Live.
Hey guys, it's the original Shao Kahn, Brian Glenn, and I'd like you to subscribe to NerdCage Live.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Doc Coyle, the man from Bad Wolves and God Forbid. I want to let you know right now, please subscribe to NerdCage Live.
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. This is Robert Meyer Burnett, and I'm telling you to go get in the cage, the NerdCage Live. And you watch, you like, you subscribe.
And you come back and you hear some cogent discourse about all things nerdy.
NerdCage Live, do it.
Hi, my name is Kev Bayless, designer or redesigner of Donkey Kong, designer of Diddy Kong, Jago, Enderkurken, and Whizpig. You can't beat me! But what you want to do is subscribe to NerdCage, the YouTube channel. Just go there, subscribe, because you know it makes sense. And that's that.
Hi, Heather Needhart here. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow NerdCage Live.
It has begun.
If what you say is true, the Shaolin
And the NerdCage
could be dangerous.
Greetings, citizens. You're now trapped in a NerdCage. We hope you have a smashing good time.
Okay, third time's the charm. You are now about to witness the strength of geek knowledge. Hello, welcome. That's right. Once again, you are trapped in Nerd Cage Live. This channel is a celebration of all things pop culture, including the death of the Nintendo Switch. Please hit that like button and subscribe. I'm your co-host, JCG, certified geek, 7 days a week, coming to you live. I'm yours truly, the land of the orange of Syracuse, New York, and always among us is our moderator and trollhammer, stronger than a DK banana slammer. You can't stop it, you can't crap it, you can't top it like a B-52 bomber up, and he's gonna drive it far from the atomic scene, the titanium room. He's the NerdCage Live Gaming prophet known as Joe FallenOne Gaming. What's going on, my dude?
Yes, tonight we are here to talk all things, well, top 10 games anyway, of Nintendo Switch.
Joe, who we got in the chat?
We have Shay Smithers, Tavia Smoka, and I'm sure a ton of lurkers. Don't be afraid to speak up.
And of course, get yourself a NerdCage Live t-shirt. Again, any size, any color. We have a lot of video game theme NerdCage Live shirts, so be sure to check our shop. It's the best way to support us. Again, any size, any color, whether you're a skinny booty color or a fat fuck, big or small, we love them all. The link to our T-Pub is in the description of this video and across the vast lands of social media where we also are live. Joe?
Yes, if you want to get us on Twitter or Instagram, both handles are @nerd_cage. Our link to our Discord is in the description. Become a member there as well. And our Facebook discussion group, that is NerdCage Nation. We love everything you guys put up there. No spoilers, no politics, and for God's sakes, keep it civil.
Abso-motherfucking-lutely. All right, and then real quick, Joe, some stuff to go over. Please check out my interview on Joe Blow Celebrity Access of the cast of Deep Cover, including Orlando Bloom, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Nick Muhammad. And check out last week's live stream, Joe, and available on all podcast platforms.
Yes, with the legendary Cynthia Rock.
And of course, before that,
our interview with Matt of Matt's Movie Reviews.
And Attack of the Aussies.
Yes, with Total MK and Fate.
Yes, and then Joe, possibly tomorrow on Twitch.
Yes, more Doom, the Dark Ages.
And we'll keep you guys posted on that. All right, so let's try this again. Looks like we are still alive, holding my breath here. And everything's running smooth to the Joe. Everything looks smoother now, too, on my end.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. All right, so Joe, let's talk Nintendo Switch before we get to this countdown, Joe. So, your thoughts and the impact of yours truly, the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, some people may have already heard me say this, but the Nintendo Switch had a great impact. It had a very, very long run. Maybe not the longest run, but at least the second longest run of any handheld I've ever played. And, you know, it's got a lot to it. Like, there's so much you can do with it. There's so much versatility. It's one of the greats, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And my thing, real quick, I'll give my piece on the Nintendo Switch. I'll always say that the Super Nintendo will be my favorite Nintendo system of all time, but the Switch run was definitely the most impressive. You're talking damn near a decade of dominance, surviving the onslaught that was the, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox One X, all that stuff. And not to mention, it hosted a whole slew of indie games, retro style indie games, new indie games. It inspired the Steam Deck, and now we have an Xbox ripoff of the Switch. Like, it changed handheld gaming forever. And I think, not to mention, I'm not gonna go on about the games, but the games some of the best that we've ever seen on any video game system. And not to mention the impact and dominance it had during the pandemic. So yeah, I think. Oh yeah, and it obviously outsold the PlayStation 2. I don't even know if the Switch 2 will outdo this. We're gonna have to wait and see, but definitely one of the most impressive runs I've ever seen for a video game system. Definitely Nintendo's most shining moment. So that's all I got. Anything else you want to add to the eulogy of the Switch?
Well, like I said, you're calling it the death of the Switch. I call it an evolution.
Yeah, and I would also point out too that if the Nintendo Switch wasn't out today, I think the Switch could survive another year or two.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. So again, it looks like everybody's here. So Joe, let's get into this countdown, guys, and
do it.
We're still alive. That's a good sign.
Oh yeah.
All right. So here we go. At number 10, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is the number 10 best Switch game of all time, according to us. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Another thing about this countdown, guys. No reports and no multi-platform games. So as far as reports, so no Mario Kart 8, no Pikmin 1 and 2, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, etc. And it's got to be Switch exclusive games. It can't be multi-platform games like Mortal Kombat, Cuphead, Street Fighter Collection, Sonic X Shadow Generations, etc., etc., etc. But yes, number 10, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Joe, your thoughts?
Yes, and like we were talking off air, I understand why you did this. It's more Breath of the Wild Part 2. It feels like an expansion pack. As great as it is, it does have some gimmicks and stuff that aren't really true to the series. So I can understand it kind of falling short, in your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I had to put it in the top 10, but I'm trying to be unbiased as possible. But here's the thing about Tears of the Kingdom: is it the most superior Zelda game to date? Yes, but we haven't really had enough time to. It came at the end of the life cycle of the Switch. There wasn't really a whole lot of time to let it marinate. And there's still problems with the game. Some story beats here and there. I never finished it.
I was going to say a little background as Jay hasn't finished it yet.
I'm spoiled though.
Yes.
But let's be real here. It hasn't had the same impact as some of the other Zelda games.
Agreed.
Even the Zelda games on this system here. But we had to put it in there in number 10 because arguably it does a lot more than Breath of the Wild ever did. So that's why I have to put this at number 10. All right. Moving on, Joe. At number 9, we have Luigi's Mansion 3. At number 9 is the 9th best Switch game of all time. Joe, this is one that you played?
Oh, yes. I enjoyed this thoroughly.
Go ahead.
And I agree. I mean, Luigi is, it's a character that doesn't get the spotlight enough. I'll agree to that. But, is he as recognizable as Mario? No, that's probably why he's lesser on this list. But it's still a widely enjoyed game, and I agree it has to be on a top 10.
And Joe, even though I always say that you're the biggest Zelda fan of all time, even more than Resident Evil, but we have to admit here, Luigi's Mansion does take a little bit of they'll never admit it, but they take a little bit of inspiration of Resident Evil. And I know you being a Resident Evil guy, so am I.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta admit that the little bits and pieces of puzzle solving and spookiness from the original.
It does borrow the formula.
Yeah.
Is it gross and stuff like killing zombies is? No, but it's built around children will play this. It has to be child friendly. I understand that, but the formula of puzzles and everything like that, yes, it borrows heavily from Resident Evil.
Yeah, and not to mention, we also had the pleasure of playing the second one, and the second one, as much as I think I like the layout better in the second Luigi's Mansion, I love this game more, especially the different floor and level designs and the boss fights.
Yeah, the bosses have a lot more personality in Luigi's Mansion 3. It's more, the bosses in the second one were basically just the characters that you meet along the way in the third one.
Yeah.
So.
And there's a charm, not to mention Luigi's my guy. I know Joe's the Mario guy, I'm the Luigi guy as a lifelong baby brother here. It's just nice to see whenever Luigi gets a spotlight, it always makes me happy. The only thing that bothers me about, and this is where I blame Luigi, the first Luigi's Mansion game, is the personality change of Luigi. You know, I don't like the fact that Luigi's become, in recent years, this scaredy cat of the Mario universe. It kind of bothers me that they made him a coward, but I don't know. That's the only gripe I have with these games, is that they kind of made Luigi into this cowardly character instead of the wide-eyed baby brother that wants to, like, you know, make a name for himself, and the one that, like, wants to help his brother, and the one that wants to prove. That bothered me a little bit, just a little bit. You know, the person
almost like they made him accident prone, but his accidents work out for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of like that old shit.
Yeah. But God, man, this game was so much fun. And not to mention, this was kind of like the launch of Spooky Games Month, kind of. Like, I mean, it wasn't the launch of Spooky Games Month on NerdCage Live, but it kind of, like, fully established that...
It carried us through, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else, Joe, before we move on to number 8?
I think we're all clamoring to hear what number 8 is.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen of NerdCage Nation, at number 8, we have Super Mario RPG Remake as number 8 of the best Switch games of all time. Joe, you've played both of them.
We were able to play both of these on screen and do the live comparison, which was awesome. And you know, it holds up. The first one still holds up, but this one just made it so much better. So I agree. I agree with where this is posted on this list. For sure.
So I really love. Okay, so Super Mario RPG is like is not only one of my favorite Super Nintendo games of all time. It's one of my favorite video games of all time. If you saw my top 10 video games list from the Get to Know the Cage series, yes, Super Mario RPG is one of my favorite games of all time. So I was playing this game with a under a microscope. Look at that. Shay even says in the chat it's the best remake on the Switch. Here's my take on this. There's still parts of me that like the original port more, because I feel like the original port was more challenging. The reason why the original port was more challenging is because it didn't have the team attack. You remember how you do the team attack here in the remake here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but here's what puts this over the top for me. The aftermath.
Yes.
So what I'm talking about is, you know how, okay, I'm kind of borrowing a reference from Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. Okay, so when you play this remake, Joe, after you beat Smithy, there's more boss fights and more levels to play. And to me, the aftermath of the post Smithy fight is the best motherfucking part of this game.
Yes, agreed.
Hands down. Now that you get some rematches with some of the characters you fight against, but there are characters that you finally fight that you never fought before in the original game. Booster, like the Booster fight, and then of course the Comax. You fight him again, but more powerful. Like it's, that's the best fucking part of this game. There are some minor differences in like the dialogue, but it doesn't bother me too much. And they did nerf the casino segment of the game, but that's okay. I fucking love this. Joe, anything you want to add to?
Well, yeah, I think before this remake came out, everybody was always wondering if Square Enix and Nintendo were ever going to collaborate again. And then they dropped this bomb. And this is the perfect way to reignite that collaboration between the two of them. And let's just face it, the AAA RPGs, 90% of them that I know are Square Enix. So to bring that to Nintendo is, it's unparalleled.
Yeah, so here's hoping we finally get a sequel to this game, or another Nintendo RPG game in this style.
Agreed.
Yes. All right, we are ready to move on to number 7.
Let's do it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen of NerdCage Nation, at number 7, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is at number 7. Joe's all-time favorite game series. Go ahead, Joe. Your thoughts.
Dude, I enjoyed the hell out of this game, man. I love the art style, and it's very different from the regular Zelda games that you play, and it's got this chill attitude to where you can just explore and have fun with it. And that's something that I've always wanted in a Zelda.
Yes. Also, it was finally, for the first time in the mainline Zelda game, we actually play as Zelda herself in a mainline Zelda game.
Yes, which was a nice change up to have a different point of view for once.
Yeah. I really, I actually just love the fact that now that we play as Zelda for the first time, but it turned the whole formula on its head. Where you're not relying on the sword and shield. You're relying on the echoes and the spells and stuff like that.
Yes, it's very limited that you actually get to attack. You're using the enemies themselves, copies of them, to attack your foes, and you're using copies of items to be able to traverse, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, not to mention, I love the boss fights in dungeons. Traditional dungeons and callbacks to other games and boss callbacks. Volvogia comes back from Ocarina of Time. It was so cool to play all the old bosses with a new take on them. And I also did the throwback with the Yeti. And I actually really enjoyed the Dark Link battles too.
Oh yes.
Link. So, and it was really nice that they took the assets from the Link's the Past Link's Awakening remake and just applied this.
They built upon it, yes.
Yeah. So in my opinion, I have to say I think this was much better than Tears of the Kingdom, and someone in the chat, Shay in the chat, just pointed out. I think this might be one of my favorite 2D Zelda games ever, behind Link to the Past. So
I can agree with that.
The Past is always still my all-time favorite Zelda game, but this, goddamn, this was an amazing take on the Zelda lore, and I hope the next Zelda game we get is more traditional in 3D, but I hope we get another Zelda-focused Zelda game.
Yeah, I hope they run parallel with this. I hope they continue the storyline with the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, that stuff. Well, an older Link and everything. But I really hope that they keep making these games in this art style because I think it fits.
Yeah, I know. I really love the art style too. All right, so I guess it's okay to move on to number 6.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hold on, let me just make this. Sorry, I'm just updating it. Hey, so far so good. Everything looks good here. Everything's running happy. I think it all worked. All right. At number 6, Super Mario Brothers Wonder is number 6.
In all its phallic glory.
Yes. So Joe, go ahead, take the floor. I know you got a lot to say.
Yes, we had so much fun with this, and you get to use different powers you didn't see before. You know, you get to turn Mario into an elephant and all that stuff. So I really like this rendition. I really did, and I like the fact that you're able to play co-op and stuff. That's a very well needed trait.
Yes, I'm just gonna add that I feel like this game is really the true follow-up to Super Mario World.
Agreed.
I know we've had dozens of 2D Mario sequels after Mario World, but to me, this is the one that I could, like, arguably make the comparison. Super Mario World will always be the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
But this game comes very damn close, and I feel like this is a perfect follow-up because this had a lot of throwbacks to Super Mario World, with like Star World and the power-ups and
they listen to a lot of feedback. Like any type of Mario player can find something they love in this game. Even the ones that, like, if you like a challenge, there are certain levels in this that are super, super challenging. We didn't even try them. That's how challenging they are.
Yeah, because they brought back Special World and
yes.
Yeah. The only thing that kind of hurts about this game is that this is the first Mario game without Charles Martinet's voice.
Yes.
That hurt a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, this game came out of nowhere, bro. Like,
it did.
They kept this under wraps for so long. And like I said, it's like, I really feel like this is the direct follow-up to Super Mario World. I really do.
I agree.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back and play this game again. I fucking loved it, and maybe when I grow a pair, I'll take Special World.
There we go.
All right, Joe. So here we are. We blazed through these first 5 games. So let's make some announcements, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So yes, next week, Joe, in celebration of the arrival of the new Superman movie, we thought it'd only be appropriate that we play MK versus DC story mode. Both story modes, not on the same day, but we're going to start with the DC story mode next Thursday, July 3rd. And Tabug99 will be joining us live via Zoom, providing additional commentary, Joe.
There you go. So you get the best of everything. You get DC, you get Mortal Kombat, you get Tabug99, you get it all.
And we're going to simulcast on both the main channel, the gaming channel, and on Twitch. So, again, we're getting hyped up for Superman, and I figure what better way to play MK versus DC. And now that we're going to be doing the DC story mode, but tentatively speaking, on July 5th, on Saturday, we're going to do the MK story mode as well. So
yes, we got to see both sides.
Yeah, Tabug99 will be joining us. And speaking of Superman, Joe, I only have the exact date in front of me, so I'm going by sheer memory here. So I believe Monday, July 14th, y'all knew it was coming, and y'all know y'all knew it was coming. But we're going to be doing a spoiler discussion.
Yes, a super spoiler discussion of Superman.
Yes. The good, the bad, the ugly. We don't know who's going to be hanging out with us. But Joe and I, we have early access. We're going to be seeing it on July 8th. We're going to wait till Monday the 14th so that everybody sees it. And we're going to talk all spoilers of the new DC Universe, James Gunn's Superman. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm going to be ready to, like, believe me, I'm going to be voicing my opinion if there's stuff I do not like. Are you excited for the movie, Joe?
I'm still excited for the movie because I really want to see where. I mean, I've seen a lot in the trailers and everything, but I want to see how it comes all together. You know, I'm going in with low expectations, of course, but I'm curious. I want to see this.
Oh, and to answer your question, Shay, as far as the preferred channel, I would probably say the main channel. would be the preference, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But since it's a gaming stream and it's a special occasion because of Superman coming out, and Tamuk99 joined us for commentary, that's why we're going on the main channel. All right, so then shifting over to Saturday, July 19th, we're going to be doing a watch party for Undisputed Championship, Usyk versus The Boy 2, which is going to be on DAZN. And look, it's too big of a boxing match not for us not to watch.
Exactly.
We're getting Undisputed Heavyweight Champion, and this is going to be one of Usyk's last fights ever. How you feeling?
A good one, for sure. For sure.
Joe, how you feeling about this fight?
You know, I think Usyk's got it. I really do.
Yeah, here's what's crazy is Usyk's our age, Joe. He's 38.
Yeah. Which doesn't seem like much in the scheme of, regular life. But when you're an athlete like that, that's like unprecedented to last that long, and especially in boxing.
All right, and the reason why this fight's so big, and this is why we're covering it, there's two reasons. One, Undisputed Champion, and the other thing, too, is this rematch. Okay, so Usyk won the first match, right? But there's controversy. Du Bois knocked down Usyk, but it was called a low blow. And people are arguing, saying, hey, it wasn't a low blow, that was a fair shot. And some people saying, no, it was a low blow. So there's some controversy with this fight. This is going to clear all controversy. I think Usyk's ready. I think Usyk's prepared. I think Usyk knows this is his last major fight. And this is only the second time in the last 20 years we're getting Undisputed Champion. So, not to mention, every time we do a boxing or a WrestleMania fight watch party, our Twitter numbers go through the roof. So.
Oh, yeah.
So, guys, grab your popcorn. We're going to talk boxing. It's going to be fun. And guess what? We're not ready to make the announcement yet, but there'll be another boxing watch party, wink, wink, in the future. Maybe on Netflix, wink, wink. Maybe in September, wink, wink. So, yeah. Saturday, July 19th, Usyk versus Du Bois watch party live right here on NerdCage Live. All right, more announcements, guys. We're dumping it all, guys. We're dumping. So, on Monday, July 28th, Joe, we have another spoiler talk.
Yes. The other side of the coin, Fantastic Four spoiler discussion.
Yeah. Finally, as we're wrapping up this year's Marvel films and we're getting ready for Doomsday next year. Come on. Like Joe said, we had to cover the DC movie, we had to discover we have to cover
you weren't really wrong.
Fantastic Four. I'm excited for Fantastic Four mainly because, I'm in love with Vanessa Kirby, so I'm really, really excited for this film. I hope it's good. Plus, I'm excited for the arrival, the on-screen debut of Galactus.
Yes, in his true form.
All right, one more announcement, and then we have, but we're not announcing almost everything, but Kyle Russell will return from DK Vine, the conversation.
Yes, and right in time for Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yes. So Thursday, July 31st, Kyle Russell's coming. The number one DK fan on the planet is coming here on NerdCage Live to talk DK Bonanza. And here's what's nice, Joe. We're playing DK Bonanza at launch.
Yes.
So we'll be 2 weeks into the game. So we can have a nice, fair, awesome, and deep discussion of the first new Donkey Kong game in over a decade, the first 3D Donkey Kong game in 25 years. DK Bonanza, I'm goddamn excited. Or should we call it DK Bonanza The Last of Us? I don't know. Goddamn excited.
Dare I say the first Nintendo contender for Game of the Year. It's not even out yet.
And we may or may not be making another July announcement real soon, guys. So stay tuned. So there we go, guys. So normally, Joe, we take July off every year. But there's way, way, way too much stuff going on in July for us to stay away.
Yes, and I have a two-week vacation in August, so why wouldn't we shift it there?
Yup. So
Which
there you go.
I will be going to Epic Universe, and you may or may not see a review in the future.
Lucky bastard, you get to visit Nintendo World and Donkey Kong Country. You bastard. That's alright, you deserve it. Okay. So, Joe, shall we continue the top, now that we finished the 10 through 6, should we get into the top 5 Nintendo?
Yes, and this next one, you know, there might be a little controversy with this next one.
Yeah, maybe. All right. So, here we go, ladies and gentlemen of NerdCage Nation, resuming at number 5, Super Smash Brothers
Ultimate.
Okay, so let me just give my take on this real quick. I had the... Okay. I'm just gonna get this right out of the way. It's the number 1 top selling fighting video game of all time. Yes, it is a fighting game. I don't care what anybody says. I get it. It's a platforming. No, it's a fighting game. I hope Paul, my roommate Paul, is watching. This is a fighting game. This is the number 1 fighting game, top selling, all time, for a goddamn reason. The only thing I'm disappointed about this game is, like, we never got a good, like, the story mode here was okay, but it wasn't like the Subspace Emissary.
Yeah, that was unprecedented.
Yeah, but that's okay. 60 plus characters. They gave us Banjo-Kazooie. They gave us K. Rool. They gave us Ryu and Ken. Holy
They gave us fucking Sephiroth, dude.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Like, how could we not have a top 10 list without Smash Brothers? The number 1 selling fighting game of all time. Joe, go ahead. What else do you want to add to this?
The only thing I could say that I'm disappointed in is that this isn't higher on the list. I would have put it higher, but you know, this is an unprecedented game. It's one of the best fighting games out there, and for Nintendo, it's their flagship fighting game. It is, you know, it's great. I love it in every way.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ridley was finally playable too.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm looking at the trailer as we speak, so it just triggered my brain. Not to mention, like, the playing this online up to with 8 people and stuff like that, like, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know a whole lot to add. My only thing I'm going to say...
It speaks for itself, dude.
How are they going to surpass this? If they're going to make this back...
The only way I could see them surpassing this is if they bring back that type of story mode like they had in Subspace Emissary.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see that.
So would I. Especially with all the new modern graphics and everything. It'd be perfect.
All right, Joe, let me ask you this now. Assuming we're going to get another Smash on the Switch 2 eventually, well, it's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
What characters are you hoping to see that have not been in Smash yet?
That have not been in Smash yet.
That not been in Smash.
Like, are you talking guesting, or are you talking in the Nintendo universe?
Both. Okay, I'll help.
I have to give it some thought because I have this, you know, thing where I kind of go to Marvel vs. Capcom, and it's like, that's not it. This is a completely different thing, but it does kind of overlap a little bit. So I really have to give it some thought. I mean, are they able to grab from other companies, or are they limited to who they grab from?
Well, I'll help you. I'd like to see Tails and Knuckles, because Sonic's been in there. It's about time we get Tails and Knuckles. Playable, not just trophies, like playable.
Yes.
I would like to see Crash Bandicoot.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Okay.
If they can give us Ryu and Ken, and if they can give us Bayonetta, who's from an M-rated game,
Yeah.
and since we see Mortal Kombat characters in Fortnite, come on, let's see Sub-Zero and Scorpion in Super Smash Brothers with Crash Bandicoot, Knuckles, Tails.
See, here's the thing with the exclusivity of all these characters and everything kind of being dropped across the board. You can have so many characters. You can put Master Chief in here. You could put fucking Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal in here. You could put Ryu from Ninja Gaiden in here. You can put a bunch of shit in here, and that's, I think, a Nintendo property anyway. So, like, there's so many options you can do.
Oh, here, I'll throw another one. Joanna Dark.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Oh, Dixie Kong.
Yes.
Yeah, Dixie Kong. There we go.
Yes, any new Donkey Kong character is obvious business.
Yeah, but Smash Ultimate did give us, like I said, Banjo-Kazooie, fucking K. Rool, Ridley, like, yeah. Like, yeah.
What do you name it going forward now that you have Ultimate? What's past Ultimate?
I don't know, Super Saiyan, I don't know.
Beyond? Well, they did that with Metroid, so I don't know if they could do that.
Or how about Super Smash Brothers roided out? I don't know.
Words.
All right, are we ready to move on to number 4?
Do it.
All right, ladies. Okay, I think Joe's kind of right though. This top 5 is gonna be controversial. I mean, Joe already thinks this should have been higher.
Once you get to the top tier, people start, paying a little more attention.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of NerdCage Nation, at number 4, Super Mario Odyssey is the number 4 on the best Switch games of all time. Joe.
Oh yes, dude, Super Mario Odyssey is so impactful. It did a completely new rendition of Mario, and it's probably rated one of the top Mario games at this point.
Yeah,
not just Switch games.
Honest to God, I think this is the best 3D Mario game ever made. I know everyone wants to point to Mario Galaxy 2. I can't help it. I think Super Mario Odyssey is the best 3D Mario game I have ever played, in my opinion. And what did it for me was New Donk City. And Pauline, like, I fucking loved this game a lot. Not to mention, this game had one of the best Mario finales ever. I guess we can talk spoilers because this game's fucking almost a decade old.
Yeah.
The finale, you square off against Bowser, and then you throw Cappy on Bowser, and you possess Bowser, and then Bowser possessed by Mario and Peach escape Bowser's hideout, and it's fucking amazing. It's definitely the best finale in a Mario game. And fun fact, Joe, the team that developed this game is the same team that developed Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yes, and that's why I have such high hopes for Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Now, my only gripe with this game is that it is very easy. I think this game was a little too easy, and that the boss fights were way too easy. But I'll give it a pass. I was fully immersed in this game. I played through it twice. I loved it. Just using Cappy and possessing the Mario enemies was such a spectacle, and the worlds were amazing. Again, New Donk City was the best part of the game. I fucking love this game. It's my favorite Mario game of all time, not even close. But it's the best 3D game I've ever played to this day. And I think they should do a direct sequel. I think they should do Odyssey 2. They need to do a direct sequel to this.
Agreed.
Yes. Oh, is it because it sounds similar to New Jack City?
Of course.
Yeah, make that argument. All right. So Joe, are you okay now with this at number 4? Is it higher?
I'm actually okay with that.
Okay. All right.
Although I'm a little biased because I know what the next 3 are. So.
All right. I know I'm gonna get so much shit for this. Here we go. I know everyone in the chat's gonna be pissed at me, but I don't give a fuck. This is the NerdCage Live funeral, all right? At number 3, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is number 3, is the 3rd best Switch game of all time. Joe,
you knew there had to be a Kirby game up here, and dude, this is the best Kirby game that I have played since the original NES. What was it? Kirby's Adventure or something? I can't remember exactly which one.
Adventure, yep.
But yes, dude, we had so much fun playing this game. You get to morph him into things we've never morphed him into before. So I mean, it's very fun.
Not to mention, Joe, this is the first true 3D Kirby game.
Yes, exactly.
Listen, the reason why it's number 3 to me is just look at how goddamn beautiful it is. This is a visual spectacle. The gameplay was fun. And not to mention, Kirby has a reputation for being too easy. This game was not super easy. There was some thinking involved. There were some puzzles to solve. You know, I love this game. I think besides Kirby Superstar, this is the best Kirby game ever made.
Yes. The only thing I think it was missing, and this is a joke by the way, Jake, but that nightmare fuel Kirby that you put on the screen a bunch of times. That's the only thing it's missing.
Well, I can at least play the fucking sound effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, not to mention I'm a huge fan of Kirby too. So like, you know, getting this game, you know, like I said, is one of the greatest moments of being like a Nintendo fan and a Switch fan, was finally playing Kirby for the first time in 3D with all these crazy abilities, and not to mention they had some cool boss fights and some cool surprises along the way too. So, I actually thought this was better than Mario Odyssey, so that's why this is number 3. Mario Odyssey is number 4. All right. Whew, I'm running out of breath, Joe. But hey, listen, we're moving on to number 2. Now, before I get to number 2, Joe, I just want to say this. Number 2 to me is my favorite Switch game. But I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible in some cases. But number 2 to me is the best Switch game ever made. It actually may be in my top 20 games of all time, honest to God. Because it was just, to me, it was just that amazing. But anyway, without further ado, guys, at number 2, Metroid Dread.
Yes.
At number 2.
And I'm with Jay on this one. This is my favorite Switch game of all time, and I have a soft spot for Samus and Metroid, and they did this one so well. The boss fights, as you know, rage baiting as they are, they're so much fun once you beat. You know, so, and the Emmys were a new challenge that had never been done before. So, I really, truly, thoroughly enjoyed this game.
Yes. Not to mention, if you're a longtime NerdCage Live follower, this is what launched the prophecy.
Yes.
This game launched the prophecy. But yes, all jokes aside, though, I don't think this is better than Super Metroid, but god damn did they come close.
Yes.
Run for your life, Joe! Run for your life, Joe! Oh no, the galaxy's doomed because of you! Yes, I'll never forget the memories of playing this on Twitch. It was actually one of our early Twitch games, if I remember.
It was. Certainly was.
We played it at launch, just when we were launching the gaming channel on Twitch, and Yeah, I had a fucking blast playing it, and like again, all the throwbacks, the return of Kraid, oh, that final boss fight.
There's multiple ways to beat the bosses, which I thought was cool. Like it's not just one little gimmick to get the boss to die. Like there's different ways you can do it. Some of them you could just cheese him right away and kill him, and you didn't even know that until you played a few times.
Yeah, not to mention the control was amazing, the fluid animation, the cutscenes were fucking amazing.
And the upgrades were kind of surprising. Like I remember when we were playing and everything, and you got the ice missile, and you're like, ice missile? I didn't know that was coming. So.
Yeah. Another thing I really appreciate about this game too was like every other Metroid game, you start at the surface and you have to make your way down into the underground to the.
Yes, this was in reverse.
Yes, you start beneath the surface and you're trying to get to the surface. That was amazing. Yeah, this is hands down the second best Metroid game of all time in my opinion, next to Super Metroid. It's the best game on the Switch in my opinion, but I can't put it at number one because of trying to be unbiased and shit like that. But this was by far my favorite game on the Switch. I can't wait to play it again. God willing, I know we have Metroid Prime 4 on the way, but I'm still holding out hope we'll get Metroid Part 6, a follow-up to Metroid Dread. We'll get Metroid 6 on the Switch too. Also, I always like 2D Metroid more than 3D Metroid, so.
Yeah.
Alright, so I think everybody knows what number one is. But we'll get right into it here. So let me just make my changes here, get everything ready. Alright. Let's try it. Hold on. I'm still loading some stuff here. Boom. Alright, guys. At number one, it was pretty obvious from the jump. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the number one Switch game of all time, and I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, but I think we have to give this game its flowers for the umpteenth billion time. So Joe, go ahead. Your favorite...
Definitely the most impactful Switch game, and probably I would believe numbers wise, probably the best selling Switch game of all time. So the numbers speak for themselves.
Well, actually, no, Mario Kart was the number one selling game, then, and I think this was right next to it.
Both damn close.
Yeah. I will say this, though, as time goes by, I think I like this game less and less as time goes by. I think when I first played this game, I was blown the fuck away. And that, it turned the Zelda formula on its head with the open world and stuff, and it was seeing open world Zelda for the first time was so mind-blowing. But I think as time goes by, the more I start liking Ocarina of Time more, Link to the Past more, hell, even Twilight Princess more. Like, I think this game, as time goes by, I don't think it's aging as well as other Zelda games. But it's gotta be number one. Because, like I said, it's most impactful. People are still making videos about it. People are still discovering new things around the Hyrule landscape. People are finding out more tricks and crazy deaths and this and that. But I will give it this. It's the best Hyrule Castle in any Zelda game. I'll give it that.
Yes, agreed.
Oh yeah, and I do hate the weapon breakage, but that's okay.
Yeah. And yes, Doom, I had to answer back to that. I just had to.
So there you have it, Joe. So, yeah, same here, Doom. So looking at the list as a whole, Joe, what are your thoughts?
It's a very well-rounded list, and I'm starting to realize. I mean, with the exceptions of games we haven't played yet, Bayonetta 3. The Xenoblade stuff and all that. There are... I was racking my brain trying to find exclusives that were not reports and not multi-platform, because that's been such a Nintendo thing lately to bring them into this, that to try to find a true exclusive, there's really not that many. So they stand out, is what I'm basically saying.
Yeah, I'll just rattle off some honorable mentions that, again, I did give it thought. Bayonetta 2, I was tempted to put that at number 10. Link's Awakening remake, I was tempted to put that in there. What else? I know you just mentioned Xenoblades. I haven't really played those enough to determine.
Well, like I said, it's kind of hard to put the ones you haven't played yet.
I know some people will, well, what about Pokemon Sword and Shield? I'm not a Pokemon player, sorry.
Pikmin 4, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever played a Pikmin game, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I thought about Pikmin, but I don't know. I think even the biggest Pikmin fan will tell you that it wasn't that big of an impact.
Yeah. And I know Splatoon is a big thing for Nintendo, but I just can't get into it.
Me, I think Splatoon is more of like a I feel like it's Nintendo's Call of Duty.
It is. It's definitely Nintendo COD.
Yeah, it's Nintendo's Call of Duty, where it's just it's more of an online experience.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you, like, I've played Splatoon many times. For me, I only can play it for so long. Like, I get bored after like a half hour. Like, it's cool, it's fun, but after it just gets repetitive.
There's not much story involved, you know. If they fleshed out some sort of story, it might be a little more, you know, aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, I didn't. Obviously, none of the Sonic games made the list because those are all multi-platform.
And let's face it, they're Sega properties.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's not the plan. I mean, it's Switch game. You know, it doesn't have to be Nintendo. It just have to be like Switch exclusive.
Yeah.
I didn't put any of the Mario parties. I didn't put any of the Mario sports games. I didn't put Mario Kart because that's a report. Let me just repeat that. We didn't put any reports, and we didn't put any multi-platform games in there. So that's why this list.
Dude, if we did reports and freaking multi-platform games and shit, we'd have a top 100, not a top 10.
But yeah, like I said, I was very tempted to put Metroid Dread at number 1, but I was like, I can't in good conscience put above Zelda because of the impact that Zelda had. But yeah. All right, so guys, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Sorry about the technical difficulty, but judging by everything,
You seem to have fixed it.
We fixed it, and I think we fixed it for a long time to come. So yeah. So again, we will see you guys next week on all NerdCage platforms for MK versus DC story mode with Tabbook99 providing extra commentary. We're very, very excited for that. You know, again, we're going to be doing 2 playthroughs, one on July 3rd, one on July 5th. So again, on July 3rd, it will be the DC story mode first. And then we're going to enjoy our July 4th. And then sometime on July 5th, we're going to do the MK versus DC MK story mode before we get to the spoiler discussion of the highly anticipated James Gunn Superman. So there you have it. And then, of course, if you haven't already, please go to Joe Blow Celebrity Access and check out my interview with Bryce Dallas Howard, Orlando Bloom, and Nick Muhammad. And Joe, last week's podcast.
Yes, with the lovely, legendary Cynthia Rothrock.
Available on all platforms, as well as Matt's movie reviews.
Yes, Matt from Matt's Movie Reviews. We delved into all things movies and covered a lot.
Yeah, deep dive. And of course, Attack of the Aussies.
Yes, with Total MK and Fate.
And then sometime tomorrow, Twitch.tv/NerdCage Live.
More Doom the Dark Ages.
Yes, and of course, get yourself a NerdCage Live t-shirt, any size, any color, if you're skinny booty call or fat fuck, big or small, we love them all. The link to our TeePublic is in the description of every video, every live stream, and across the vast lands of social media where we also are live. Joe?
Yes, if you want to get us on Twitter or Instagram, both handles are @nerd_cage. Our link to our Discord is in the description. Become a member there as well. And our Facebook discussion group, that is NerdCage Nation. Love everything you guys put up there. No spoilers, no politics, and for God's sakes, keep it civil.
All right. And thus, this ends the eulogy in the funeral of the Nintendo Switch. Thank you for all the Nintendo Switch memories, Nintendo, as I'm ready to delve into the Nintendo Switch 2 that I haven't even opened yet.
Much more memories to come.
Yes. And the very first Switch 2 game we'll be playing at launch will be Donkey Kong Bonanza. So stay tuned. So the week of July 17th on twitch.tv/NerdCageLive, the era of the Switch will be over as we finally move on to the Switch 2 with Donkey Kong Bonanza. So thank you very much. As always, we please ask you to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and spread that shit like syphilis to the USA from York Street, the land of the orange, just Syracuse, New York, our friends and fans around the world at NerdCage Live. And NerdCage Live, say it, gaming. Enjoy life, stay safe, eat your vegetables, do your push-ups, go to the gym. Good night, God bless, and have the best day of your life.
Night.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow on twitch.tv/NerdCageLive, and we'll see you right here on YouTube next week. Good night, everybody.
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe. Okay. Shoot it!
All right.
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe.
It's all about you.
Kaboom!
Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful.
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe. Run for your life, Joe.
Running.
Run faster. Oh no, Joe. The galaxy's doomed because of you.
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe.
Thank you.
Yo, that's diabolical. Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCageLive.
Ooh, trying to get out of the nerd cage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by. Until next time, tell everyone you know about NerdCage Live!